What's that? What's that noise? It sounds like ghost cats, like scratching on a chalkboard. Oh, those are FT8 noises. Is FT8 real ham radio? Of course it is. Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Punk Rock Ham Radio. I'm your host, the Punk Rock Ham Radio guy, KM6TWY, where punk rock and ham radio collide. This is what I'm doing for antennas today. A mobile center-loaded vertical. This is a Diamond HF20CL. Took me about 1 minute to set up and play with those little set screws around there to bring the resonance down to the data portion of 20 meters. The theme of this video is just demonstrating a laid-back way to get on the air for Parks on the Air. FT8 N Chill is what I like to call it. Sometimes it's just good to find a nice body of water, get outdoors in the peace and quiet, while also getting the park activated. This is KM6TWY. Let's get on the air. I am just about ready to call POTA on FT8. I got my ICOM 705 plugged into a computer that will be doing all of the talking for me today. And I will also, on the background, be monitoring my power consumption because I do want to get a smaller battery for the 705 for backpack portable operations. Let's call POTA and get this park on the air. All right, let's call POTA, KM6TWY, Echo, November 70 from Park US 4208, my home park. And I'm gonna be doing 2 activations today, so we need to get this done. It's about 6:19 p.m. here local time in Indiana. And I'm planning on doing a second activation when the UTC day changes over. So let's get on the air. Found an open frequency, I'm all set up. Enable TX. Basically, all this is, FT8 is a frequency shift keying digital mode for ham radio. It's a weak signal mode, which on a day like today, band conditions are terrible. And it so happens to be the weekend, I have the day off, so I'm gonna go play radio. The solar flux is at 0. Sunspot number 178. And the KP index is at a 1. Oh, I'm getting one. This is why FT8 is fun, because whatever's going on in the sky and the ionosphere, whatever the sun's doing, I can't control that. I can just control my radio, my antenna, my operating, and FT8 is valid for POTA. Yes, got one. US 4028 from 5 watts. Boom. Okay, on to the next one. When I first started getting into HF ham radio and Parks on the Air, to set up an antenna and just pick up the microphone and start talking into it. That was easier than trying to configure WSJTX, getting these drivers installed and doing all of these other things that you have to do, and then my radio getting stuck in TX, audio drop in Windows, and WSJTX getting all upset while I'm in the middle of an activation. And there's sort of some troubleshooting, some basic surface level computer troubleshooting that you need to be able to do to get this all to work. My ALC is a little high. Actually, we should probably back down that power meter. There's one way that I could blow the final output stage on my radio. It would be with FT8. Single sideband phone is more exciting. It's more fun. It gets your adrenaline going. You just made this rare contact with somebody on the other side of the world. You can hear their voice, or you're pulling them out of the noise, you know, just using your ears. That's more fun. That's how I feel about that. Band conditions are rough today. Got a few contacts. I got an hour and a half to get 7 more. I am monitoring the voltage drop, my temperature, my ALC, my SWR, the waterfall, all of the things. Some of my pet peeves about FT8 are that it's slow. It's 15 seconds of transmit, 15 seconds of receive, 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off, repeat. It's a power hog. And have you guys ever had this thing happen where you make the contact, you send the 7.3, you get it logged, but the other station doesn't hear the 7.3 for whatever reason, and they're still calling you, and it takes like 10 times to send the 7.3 back to them again until they hear it and they'll stop calling you. At some point, you just need to move on, and it's so slow. With single sideband, with good band conditions up in the sky in the ionosphere, getting on 20 meters and having this giant pile up and you're just raking in all of these contacts, one after the other, after the other, after the other, that is awesome. That is so much fun. It's not really like that with FT8. What I really like about FT8 is having it in my back pocket if, say, I'm doing a QRP single sideband activation, which is really the main thing that I want to do with my activations right now. But for whatever reason, I can't get out, I can't get my 10 contacts. I will use FT8 as the auxiliary mode to get the park activated. Got a couple more people calling me. I completed the contact, sent the 73, moved on to the next contact, and this dude is still calling me. He's called me 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I want him to log the contact, and then I have to not log it because I already logged him. 73. Oh yes, he said he heard me and got the 73. I got 1 hour to get, I don't know, 4 or 5 more. I have a goal getting on the park leaderboard for US 4208. I'm getting another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool, I'm almost there. Oh yeah, and then now somebody's transmitting on top of me on the waterfall, so now I need to move. That's why this guy can't hear me. I'm gonna move over here. That's better. This is KM6 TWI. Can you hear me now? Also, I can't stand Windows. Windows is stupid, but I am gonna use Windows on my Jankopotamus laptop until Windows is broken. I got 9 contacts, I'm getting my 10th, woohoo! I'm gonna get this park activated and then get a few more for good measure, check everything for dupes, and then take a little break before the next activation from the same park, doing the exact same thing. And I plan on leaving US 4208 with 12 successful activations today. And just like that, I got my 10th FT8 QSO with 45 minutes to spare until the next UTC day. I got 12 QSOs on FT8 from Park US 4208. This is KM6 TWI for Punk Rock Ham Radio. Stay tuned and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a single episode of Punk Rock Ham Radio. First activation is in the bag, and I'm looking at my log, this little text file thing, just checking it for dupes, because this is the other thing that I don't like about FT8, is that you can get dupes and not realize it, and if you made the minimum amount of contacts for POTA, 10 contacts, and there's a dupe, then you didn't make 10 contacts. And I'm looking at my log and I see a dupe. So I'm glad I got a value that is greater than 10. So this is gonna be 11 QSOs. I got 1 dupe and didn't even realize it. I like FT8. FT8 is just a chill, laid back way to activate a park. You can kind of step away for a second. You can come back to it. I'm still keeping track of all of these things. I like to work in a circle where I'm looking at the radio and then I'm looking at the computer and just kind of just making sure everything is what it needs to be. You know what would be really cool? It's getting a kayak or a canoe or a paddleboard and exploring these rivers and lakes. There's even some islands out there that might be really fun to set up for a portable ham radio. Parks on the Air activation. All right, this is KM6CWI for Punk Rock Ham Radio calling CQ POTA on FT8 for my second activation of the day. Well, it's the next UTC day, but let's get this party on FT8 started. Wow, there's a lot more signals on the waterfall now. Holy crap, I'm getting a pileup. It's a party bus right now on 20-meter FT8. I'm trying to get a park-to-park right now with Sierra, Quebec 8, Lima, Sierra, Bravo in Europe. I just got one contact, sent him the 7.3, and he didn't hear it, and now he's called me 5 more times, and I don't think he's gonna stop until he hears a 7.3 from me. I've called the European station 3 times, he didn't hear me, so, oh, here comes another one. November, Papa, 3 Yankee, you are +8. Obviously, it's harder to get those long distance DX contacts with crummy band conditions on single sideband, which you can do on FT8. I got ya. Woohoo! Roger, 7.3. Woohoo! One thing I also really do like about FT8 is it opens the door to other digital modes. JS8 call, WinLink, all of the other things that I haven't tried yet. One of the things about ham radio is advancing the radio art. Is this not an advancement of the radio art? Woohoo! Victor Echo 9, Papa Hotel X-Ray from Foxtrot, November 7-7. You are -8, buddy. Thanks for the contact. Whiskey Bravo 0 Lima, Quebec Whiskey. You are -2. Come back. I would rather be talking into a mic. I am talking to a mic, into this mic. When I was first learning how to get on the air with FT8, I was using my Yaesu 891 with a digi-rig into the Jankopotamus laptop. You have to have 2 USB cables and all these things, and the Yaesu 891 Deep F menu. I got it all working, and I got WSJTX figured out on a surface level. There's some deeper things that I still don't have figured out. I'm a punk rocker. I sing into the microphone and I get loud. That's just like what I do. That is easier than all of this Windows stuff. I grew up in ham radio activating summits on the air in Southern California as a technician, but it's also a lot of work to go up those mountains that I went up. Oh, here comes another pileup. If I had summits in my backyard, if I still had Mount Baldy 45 minutes away, I would have bought an Elecraft KX2, hands down, without question. I got the 705 because it's still backpack portable. I'm not carrying it up a mountain. It also does make a really good travel buddy for when I'm gonna get on an airplane and get the heck out of Indiana, go to California or wherever else I wanna go and go do a POTA. The ICOM 705 just makes sense for what I'm doing. Backpack portable POTA operations will help me to get to the point where I will travel somewhere hundreds of miles away to a soda summit and get on the air for summits on the air, which is my main jam that got me hooked on this whole portable POTA soda thing in the first place anyway. It's just a lot of fun when you take ham radio and you make it into this sport, this game with like a tangible goal. If you have to make this amount of contacts, these are the rules. You need to be in this spot, this activation zone, or this park boundary. Okay, I just got 11 QSOs for my second activation today from US 4208. So I am going home today with 12 activations, on my way to 20. So I think what I'm going to do now is to get a couple more for good measure. I have time, I have enough batteries. Well, that's a wrap on my 12th successful POTA activation of US 4208. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend, spending time outside. This is KM6TWI for Punk Rock Ham Radio. Thanks for watching, and 7-3.